Emmerdale actor Ryan Hawley is thrilled to return and lead the iconic Sugden family, the soap's founding clan, as they step into an entirely new era. The past year has been a significant one for the actor, who made his comeback as the much-loved Robert Sugden on the ITV drama last May. Within a short period, Robert has taken centre stage in several major storylines, playing a key role in the downfall of his dangerous brother, rekindling his romance with Aaron Dingle, and appearing in the highly anticipated crossover with Coronation Street. Recently, however, he has found himself ostracised by the village after relocating to Butler's farm when Joe Tate successfully forced the Dingles off the property. Despite the frosty reaction from the community, Robert has continued to receive unwavering support from Aaron, who chose to stand by him as they took control of the farm and renamed it Emmerdale Farm in tribute to the Sugden heritage. This marks a major turning point for the ITV series as the Sugdens reclaim their roots, and Ryan admitted he feels incredibly honoured to be at the heart of this shift. He explained that it seems the show is laying the groundwork for the Sugden family, especially with the possibility of Victoria's return in the future. He also noted that different groups are beginning to form, which he believes will lead to plenty of tension and divided loyalties, making it an exciting time to be involved in the show. Ryan added that being part of such an important legacy family is something he feels very fortunate about. He shared that gaining control of Emmerdale Farm for the Sugdens is a fantastic development, and many people have told him how great it is, something he deeply appreciates. The actor even revisited an episode from the 1980s, set before Robert's birth, featuring Jack and Sarah, and found it fascinating to see how the show has evolved while maintaining its continuity. He said it was a special experience to compare the past with the present and to be involved in that ongoing story. However, Robert's ambition to carry on his family's legacy has not come without challenges, largely because of Joe's manipulative behaviour, which has repeatedly shown that he cannot be trusted even when working toward the same goal. Joe not only exploited Robert's eagerness to return to farming to create conflict with the Dingles and drive them apart, but he also resorted to blackmail once Robert took over the land. Ryan commented that Joe's actions have only added to Robert's struggles, explaining that while the dream of running the farm is within reach, Joe constantly teases him with it, only to pull it away again and continue playing games. Joe continues to toy with him, deliberately making his situation harder while taking pleasure in watching Robert suffer, proving that life on the farm isn't as ideal as it seems. Robert is also burdened with guilt after hiding the ID cards at Butler's farm under Joe's orders, a move that ultimately resulted in Moira Dingle being arrested on charges of human trafficking. In upcoming episodes, his remorse becomes overwhelming, pushing him to consider confessing to the police so Moira can be released and reunited with her family, especially Kyle, who is already struggling with the fear of losing yet another loved one. Ryan explained that Robert feels deeply responsible for the fallout of his actions and believes the only way to fix things is by taking the blame, even if it means being charged with evidence tampering and facing prison time again. However, a small ray of hope appears when Beowulf mentions a number plate linked to Ray Walters, prompting Robert and Aaron to start searching for evidence that could clear Moira's name. Whether their efforts will succeed is still uncertain, but one thing is clear: there is plenty more drama ahead, particularly where Joe is concerned. Ryan described Joe as extremely cunning and manipulative, adding that while he supports Robert and hopes he can outsmart his rival, it doesn't seem likely anytime soon, as Joe currently has the upper hand. He also suggested that Joe has placed Robert in a very difficult and complicated position. When it comes to the possibility of Robert taking control of Home Farm, Ryan admitted he has doubts, noting how much the character has evolved since his previous time in the village. He reflected that in the past, Robert was determined to dominate Home Farm and prove his success to everyone around him. Now, however, he feels the character is at a completely different stage in life, with very different priorities. According to Ryan, Robert now values family, relationships, and love far more, and is trying to move away from destructive behavior, despite the current situation involving Moira. He added that Robert has become a more understanding and compassionate figure, with ambitions that are no longer driven by power, but instead focused on building a meaningful life and securing what truly matters to him. Emmerdale reveals Robert and Aaron's last-ditch attempt to rescue Moira. Next week in Emmerdale, Moira Dingle makes the huge choice to plead guilty, just as Robert Sugden and Aaron Dingle launch a frantic effort to prove her innocence. Haunted by guilt after assisting Joe Tate in setting Moira up, Robert even thinks about confessing to authorities to spare her family from the pain of her being behind bars. Before he can take that step, however, a crucial clue suddenly emerges, completely changing the direction of the case. The question is whether they can present proof in time before Moira makes a decision she can't undo. A source from the Dales explains that the situation is extremely tense, as Moira is firmly set on pleading guilty despite everything. Robert is painfully aware that his actions led to her downfall, and he knows how desperately Kane and the rest of the family need her back home. But with time slipping away, he and Aaron are under immense pressure as they race to save her. At the beginning of the week, Robert turns his attention to Beowulf, convinced he holds key information that could help clear Moira's name. Meanwhile, Paddy is furious after discovering that Robert has visited the prison, believing he has only added stress to his already fragile father. As each lead fails to deliver results, Robert admits to Aaron that he plans to surrender himself, unable to watch Moira's children suffer for something that was ultimately his fault. Aaron is devastated at the thought of losing Robert again, especially now that they finally have a chance at a future together, and pleads for them to spend one more night side by side. Luckily, the following day brings a breakthrough when Robert's instinct about Bear proves correct, as he reveals details about a car number plate linked to Ray that he had been asked to hide. Although Aaron might not seem like a natural detective, he teams up with Cami Hadik to track the plate, quickly leading them to a storage facility in Houghton with impressive speed. With so many units to search through, the task appears almost impossible at first. That changes when Marlon shares information about a key from Celia's farm, which carries a number that becomes the missing piece of the puzzle. After everything Moira and her family have endured, it's understandable that she feels as though luck has never been on her side. Emmerdale continues to air on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available for streaming on ITVX.